Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I got two pretty cool new products also for my outdoor kitchen. These are products from a Dutch brand called the Windmill cast iron. It's all designed in the Netherlands. I got the Skillet XL, which is their biggest cast iron skillet. They write down some technical specifications. 2 kilos 950 gram. The length of the handle is 116.5 millimeters in length. The total length is 500 millimeters, and the diameter of the skillet is 315 millimeters. The total height is 55 millimeters. So I will take out everything there is and set the box aside. I also got a small oven dish, which is pretty cool. I thought it would be a bit bigger, but it's pretty cool if you want to make some baked vegetables or whatever in your stove or barbecue or whatever. These items are pre-seasoned, but before the first use, they strongly recommend to pre-season or to season them properly before the first cook. So I will show you how to do all that once we are outside. Before that, we will talk a bit more about stuff. I also got a magnesium fire starter. That's pretty cool if you want to start a fire outdoors when you're in the wild. And I got like this little notebook, which I will be using to write down my recipes. That's also quite handy and really kind of them. So I will get the camera closer now so that you can have a look at the quality of the items. They are really nicely finished. So here we are. The small oven dish is 1.4 kilos heavy. The length of the handles is 3 centimeters each. Total length 26 centimeters, 115 millimeters or 15 centimeters wide and 5 centimeters high. So that's perfect to make an oven baked lasagna or whatever you want to do. So if you can see, it is very smoothly finished, no sharp edges at all. I have already a few cast iron Dutch ovens and big pots, but no oven dish or baking pan. So my plan with this one is to wash it, season it as it should be seasoned, and then try some baked potatoes in Wagyu grease or fat. So I'm pretty sure they will turn out quite delicious. So I will switch location and then I will already wash them and show you how to properly season them. So guys, we are in my outdoor kitchen now. Here my old stove where we'll be cooking the baked potatoes later. And here is my green egg, which I'm firing up now so that we will get a temperature between 180 and 200 degrees. Then we will put the skillet as well as the oven dish inside the barbecue, let it reach a temperature of 200 degrees, and then we will season it with some hot burning point oil. You can also use the cast iron seasoner of the Windmill. I don't have it, so I will be using some sunflower seed oil, which I also used to season my other steel pans or cast iron objects. So I already washed the pan and the oven dish. All it takes is a good rinse with water and a sponge so that all the residues from the factory are cleaned off. Then you dry it and then you place it into the oven or the kitchen stove or the barbecue to get it to temperature. My other pans, I seasoned them on the kitchen stove because they have handles that are colored that cannot sustain so much heat. So with the Windmill items you also have to pay attention. If you have wooden handles or bakelite handles, you need to pay attention that they don't get too hot and get damaged during the seasoning process. So we'll wait until the barbecue reaches 180 degrees and then we will put the cast iron on. So the barbecue is on temperature. I will adjust the ventilations so that it will not get too hot. We'll now put the two items in there and then we will wait for 5 to 10 minutes until everything reach temperature, and then I will show you how to season them. Pay attention, they will get quite warm so that you have good heat resistant gloves and you will not burn yourself while taking the skillet and the oven dish out of the barbecue. The skillet and the oven dish have reached temperature. I will take it to the other side. We'll let the oven dish in until the pan or the skillet is seasoned. So I switched position so that you can better see what I am doing. I'm just using sunflower oil as I told you, and then you just apply a gentle layer on the entire pan. I use some paper towels. You can also use some cotton clothes or whatever. I'll also season the handle. Can't touch it too long because it gets quite hot even through the gloves. It's also important to season the bottom because you want a good layer of seasoning everywhere to prevent the pan from rusting when you are not using it, especially since I am storing all my cooking ware or cast iron cooking ware in my summer kitchen where it is still sometimes moist. And after this we will put it back onto the barbecue, let the oil be burnt into the cast iron, and then we have to repeat this process for at least 3 to 4 times. The more you do, the better. So I got the oven dish. This one is even hotter because it stayed on longer. You really need some good gloves as it is freaking hot. So in the meantime, where this goes back onto the barbecue, I will already peel and cut the potatoes for our baked potatoes. I don't pre-cook them. I think in my eyes the best baked potatoes are the ones that you entirely bake in the pan. If you want it to be faster, you can pre-cook them for a few minutes and then put them in the pan or skillet, but I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way. So this is also seasoned. It's already taking a bit darker color. I don't know if you see that. Pretty hot. I will put it back on the barbecue. So I just took the skillet out of the oven again. It's really hot. You can see that the oil is nicely smoking. I decided to use a cotton towel. It's way easier to season the pan. So I will not guide you through the 4 times of seasoning that I will be applying. So I will do it now until I think the pan is seasoned enough. And then we will start the fire in the old kitchen stove. And then I will show you what we can do, and especially the question is how non-stick will it be after our seasoning. These cast iron skillets will get better and better the more you cook in them. I have some steel pans from other brands which I also bought brand new, and in the first times they were quite sticky, and once you get a decent seasoning in, then they are really awesome. And I will show you later with a baked egg that this should also be non-sticky at all. So I will throw it back on the oven and then see you once we start cooking. So guys, I repeated the seasoning step 5 times in total. You should do it until the pan, skillet, or whatever you want to call it, stops smoking. So I did that. I think we have a nice coating on there. You can even see a little darker spot in the middle, and then it will become better and better over cooking, or the more you cook. What the seasoning process does is the heat opens up the pores of the cast iron, so humidity can evaporate, and then the oil will fill up those pores and make it non-stick. So what we are going to do now is light the fire in the kitchen stove, and then I will put in some nice Wagyu fat, and then we will be adding the baked potatoes. There's no need to let cool down the skillet. I will put the oven dish to the side so that it stays warm, and we will be baking the potatoes, put them in the skillet. I will put the skillet in my oven here to keep the potatoes warm, and then we will do some nice eggs in the pan, fried eggs, to show you how non-stick the pan is, and we will put the eggs over the baked potatoes. So I have some nice leftover Wagyu fat from my Wagyu brisket I cooked a few weeks back, so that's always nice to keep those for baked potatoes. And then we will directly put in the potatoes. So in comes the potatoes. It's about 7 standard size potatoes that I cut. You can even put more in the big skillet here. I also chopped some onions, which I will be adding at the very end. So the handle is still quite hot. We'll see if it will cool down while cooking. Otherwise you always have to grab a towel or heat-resistant gloves to stir in the pan. Well guys, we are 10 minutes in now. As you can see, I can touch the handle by the hand, so that's really good. So the skillet gets temperature, but the handle stays cool to touch. You can see we got a really nice crust, but nothing or nearly nothing is sticking to the pan, so that's really good. It's a shame you can't smell this nice brisket fat because it's so delicious. And I always say a good baked potato needs at least 1.5 hours in the skillet. I never bake potatoes in a cast iron skillet, but until they are nice and soft in the inside and crispy on the outside, it will take some time. So really nice. I will just let them continue to cook for a while, and then I will show you what they look like. So guys, we are approximately 40 minutes in, and as you can see, they just turned out really nice. I don't think that in my carbon steel pans they got such a nice color so fast, so this is really awesome. I will now transfer them into the oven dish. As you can see, I can still hold it. It's a bit hot, but okay. Of course, they shrunk a bit. So now I will sear up the onions. Then I will mix everything, season them, and then we will put it in the oven and I will show you how to cook an egg in the skillet. What is a really important point is that you always have to give the skillet a few minutes time if you heat it up, so it only starts to be non-stick once the skillet has a certain temperature. So it's sticking if you put the food in too soon. So if I bake some eggs, I preheat it for 3 minutes or so, add a little bit of oil, and then you can just add the egg. So guys, the onions are gold brown now. I already seasoned them with salt, paprika powder, garlic powder and a bit of parsley. Same for the baked potatoes. So we will just mix everything and then we will bake an egg and steak. So if these don't look perfect, I don't know what a perfect baked potato looks like for you. I really look forward to eating them. We'll transfer them in the oven dish. So as you can see, there's nothing sticking to the bottom of the pan, really nice. I will switch the stove on, put the baked potatoes in the oven to keep them warm. And now comes the moment of the truth, where we see how non-stick this one really is. So we will wait a minute, season it with a bit of salt, a bit of ground pepper, and a bit of garlic powder, so that you can see it is non-stick at all. It's still a pretty thick spatula, so I was afraid of using this one, maybe it would break the egg or so, but really nice non-stick. What is really nice about these pans is that they are nice and hot, hotter than normal pans, so you get a really nice caramelization and a really good flavor to your egg. I don't want to break it, but you can see I can just freely move it around, so we really have a non-stick surface without any chemicals, because all the modern anti-stick pans are full of toxic chemicals. A lot of studies say that they are bad for your health and so on, so here you really can't say anything. I will now take the egg out, we will put it on our baked potatoes, and then we will sear up the steak in the pan. So you can see nothing sticking to the pan at all, really nice. So we did a good job seasoning. Just get this out. Open up the lid for a bit more airflow so that we get the pan nice and hot. and then we will add our steak in a minute. Skillet is hot, and we will add our steak. It's a baby beef steak from Luxembourgish farmer in my village. Really good quality meat. We order meat there 2 or 3 times a year. You can see also not sticking at all. Really nice. Also just sear it, give it a nice sear on both sides. Also put it in the oven to tenderize, and then we are done. So guys, this is already pretty good. Getting the oven dish out again. We'll put our egg slightly to the side, or not, maybe not break it. Look at this here, pretty nice. So, and then what I do after I'm done cooking, depending on what I cooked and how the skillet is looking like, I just clean it with a paper towel, or if it's a bit dirtier, you just wash it with hot water and a sponge, and then you dry it, and you just use a very bit of oil and you put it back on the warm stove for a few minutes just to re-season it, so that it will be pretty nice and clean and non-sticky for the next time. So I will show you how clean it already looks after just wiping it off. The real important thing is that you do this before the pan cools down, because if you don't do it, then it will get really sticky, and you have a lot more work to get it clean. As you can see, this is pretty much as clean as it gets. If however you want to use a bit of soap, it's okay, but most people don't recommend it, as it can damage your seasoning. If however you would ever forget your pan outside or whatever, and it would become rusty again, you can just give it a good clean with a steel brush, and then you apply all the steps that we did today, and your pan will be looking like new. So I hope all the questions about these nice products have been answered. I will be showing a lot more stuff on my Instagram channel in my stories about these products. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or the Windmill itself. They will be happy to reply you, as am I. And as always, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up button. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.